family, community. This is Midwest Farm Weekly.
Good morning, I'm Elaine Wells, and thank you for joining us on Midwest Farm Weekly. In your news headlines this weekend, 15 beef industry leaders from 10 states, including Wisconsin, visited Seoul, South Korea and Tokyo, Japan. They studied market conditions and U.S. beef's potential while witnessing and participating in U.S. beef promotions. Farmer Brady Klatt shared his experience with me.
Yeah, we had a really good time on this trip. We were able to go through some funding grant dollars that were put together. The Wisconsin Beef Council went ahead and got that grant put together. And as a part of the U.S. Meat Export Federation, we were able to travel over to Korea and Japan, South Korea and Japan, to visit with consumers, importers, a lot of food staff or food service team members as well, to talk about American beef and what opportunities are for them to import our product.
What were some of the points that you wanted to hit on when talking with those consumers? What were your selling points of Wisconsin or American beef?
Well, I think the biggest thing with American beef is quality. There's a lot of other countries that they could import beef from, but here in the United States, we do a really, really good job of raising a high quality product. And for them, that means that it can hit a price point kind of in between other import products and what they have for some of their domestically raised beef. So Hanwoo and Wagyu would be big in both of those countries, and they're extremely high marbled product. But that comes with a price point, right? So their consumers are able to purchase American beef that is, kind of a really good quality product that's maybe a little bit cheaper and more affordable than what they have for domestically raised product there. So that's really a big thing. And just talking about what we're doing in terms of raising a wholesome and safe, nutritious product as a whole over here in the United States is really important this trip.
Why are exports important to continue to grow our industry?
Well, exports are important, in my opinion, for a couple different reasons. When we're talking about what we have for beef production as a whole, there's a lot of different cuts and products of our beef cattle that are sent to other countries. In particular, tongue is a big one that there's a ton of demand over in Japan for tongue. We don't see a lot of that consumed here. So that really just gives producers, right, whether it be those feeding cattle or selling feeder calves here in the U.S., additional dollars and value in that carcass. So talking about exports in that capacity is really important. But again, finding ways that we can increase, the value of our carcasses by marketing the high quality product to other countries is really important for that export market as well too. As a whole, the trip was really interesting. It was pretty eye-opening in terms of how the cultures are different over in those two countries relative to what we see here. It was very enjoyable to talk with, all different kind of folks in different facets of their kind of consumer side of beef consumption. And as a whole, I think we have a lot of really good opportunities with those countries, and spending time over there just really reinforces that for us. There's some things that we learned and that we probably need to take back and talk with those on the Beef Council, as well as making sure that our producers are in tune with what we need to do as they move forward in the future with these type of markets.
Korea and Japan were top volume markets for U.S. beef exports in 2023. Agricultural scientists across the country, including here in Wisconsin, are advancing new AI applications on the farm, ranging from tracking animal movements for signs of disease to using drones and other automated equipment to monitor crops as they grow. The workflow can be as simple as taking a photo of a lettuce field and having AI compare it to a database of worldwide disease in crops.
Two things that we can do. Number one is that we can detect the diseases, for instance, in plant species early on, and then we can prevent the diseases so that we can have enough yield. So think about the cancer in human being, and if we catch it early on, that it is possible to, or highly likely to, eliminate or prevent the cancer. It's like the same thing in plant species as well.
Earlier this year, a team of researchers, including some from UW-Madison, received a $5 million grant to develop an AI platform aimed at strengthening regional food systems. This initiative seeks to address barriers faced by small and mid-sized farms and local food distributors, such as limited access to real-time marketplace insights, ultimately hoping to foster a more competitive environment for these stakeholders. Welcome back to Midwest Farm Weekly. On this edition of Sustainably Speaking, Local 5's Ryan Kudish spoke with the Wisconsin DNR for some key reminders of preventing the spread of invasive plants.
Whether you're going out for a ride on the water, going up north to the cabin for the weekend, or trying to find your next big catch, it's always helpful to remember the key tips in not spreading invasive plants. Wisconsin DNR officials say they are tracking a variety of species.
We really are on the lookout for invasive Phragmites, non-native cattail, narrowleaf cattail, European frogbit, flowering rush, yellow flag iris are some of the aquatic ones. And then terrestrial, we really are looking at garlic mustard, Dame's rocket, some of your invasive woody plants like buckthorn, honeysuckle, and autumn olive.
Jake Kobernick is a habitat biologist with the Wisconsin DNR. He says when the bay had higher water levels in the past, the invasives started to fall off. With decreasing water levels, the invasives are coming back and have plenty of area to take over. While the rate at which the invasive species spread out depends on the plant itself, it remains constant that activities like fishing, boating, hunting, and camping can contribute to the spread if precautions aren't taken. When wrapping up a day on the water, Kobernick offers up these reminders.
Cleaning off your trailer after each use, getting all the weeds and not any type of vegetation really off of your trailer. And your boat as well, including kayaks and smaller watercraft. Draining your live wells and bait wells to keep the water from transporting to a different lake.
And if you're planning on going out for a day in Mother Nature,
clean off your clothes of any seeds that get attached to your clothes. Also using things like boot brushes or little brushes to clean out your treads on your footwear is really key. Also, if you're an upland hunter or even a waterfowl hunter, making sure that your pet or your dog is clean, getting the burrs and some of the seeds out of their fur.
To help our active pollinators, planting native plants and digging up non-native species can help them thrive. And that's Sustainably Speaking. I'm Ryan Kudish, Local 5 News.
The Wisconsin DNR's website is a resource for any questions that you might have about invasive plants. Today we have a summer recipe that adds a little kick to your steak. Only 4 ingredients for this mustard bourbon sauce. Angie joins us from the Wisconsin Beef Council.
Hi everybody, I've got a nice, simple, delicious steak recipe perfect for summer. It can be made on the grill. But I'm going to make it today in a cast iron pan, and our recipe on beeftips.com does say to make it inside in a cast iron pan because we're going to add a little bit more flavor to our sauce. But it's versatile, so maybe it's one of those rainy day steak recipes for the summer. But I'm starting with a flat iron steak, actually. So they usually come in the supermarket prepackaged like this. Flat iron is from the chuck, and it's the second most tender steak in behind the fillet. So it's perfect for the grill. Does not need to be marinated at all because it's super tender, but then it also has a great chuck flavor. So it's a little bit more beefier flavor than a fillet. So we're just gonna add a simple 4 ingredient sauce to our flat iron. Like I said, I went ahead and I took my flat iron and I cut it up into 4 steaks, which would be about 4 servings. I started with a 1.4 pound flat iron. So these are probably a little bit more than 3 ounce serving, probably more like a 4 ounce serving, but it's going to work perfectly for us today. Then in my skillet here, I just did them in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and I topped with a little kosher salt and a little black pepper. I'm going to get my skillet back going and get it hot. And we're going to make a mustard bourbon sauce. I'm actually starting with 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. Then I'm going to put in a 1/4 cup of some coarse grain Dijon. So it might be called like a country style. Definitely don't have to use that kind of Dijon. You could use just a traditional creamy Dijon. 2 tablespoons of bourbon. And then we're going to add some chives at the end. So I've got a nice wood spatula with a flat bottom, and I'm going to use that to scrape up all my brown bits in my skillet. So we're going to get all that beef flavor pulled right up from the bottom of the skillet. Just incorporate that mustard into the cream, and then I'm going to come back with a whisk and get it nice and creamy. And I'm already boiling. So now at home, I would give this 4 or 5 minutes, or actually just take it as far as you'd like, to as thick as you would like. But this is already looking really good and smelling really good. And also adding that bourbon and bringing it to a boil, most of the alcohol will burn off. But you can definitely skip the bourbon if you don't already have it at home and don't want to splurge on it. A couple tablespoons of fresh chives just to finish. And this is looking and smelling great, and that is it. This is our mustard bourbon sauce, and the beauty of this is you can top any grill-ready steak, any tender steak, make it in your skillet. This is about a 20-minute meal. Maybe buy a couple flat irons if you're having a fun get-together for a weekend. Super delicious. Look at that. That's like steakhouse quality. Beef steaks with mustard bourbon sauce. The recipe is on our website, beeftips.com. You can find it by Googling, searching for flat iron steak, or head to our Satisfying Steaks collection.
Wisconsin FFA has elected a new state officer team, and they're already on the job this summer. We say good morning to Jesse Thompson, who is our new state president, and we welcome Crystal Anholt, who is our state vice president. Good morning to both of you, and congratulations.
Good morning. Thank you.
Jesse, talk a bit about FFA. Why do we elect a state leadership team?
Yeah, so the state leadership team helps us as an association guide our members into the future, whatever that looks like. So throughout the year, we'll have leadership development events, career development events, and all sorts of conferences and competitions throughout the year. And that, as a state officer team, we help plan those and plan the logistics of those events. And then we also get to network with FFA members in their classes. Every state officer in Wisconsin visits each ag classroom in their section.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Where is your home section?
Yeah, I'm from Gales Electric Trempealeau, so near Winona, Minnesota, La Crosse, Wisconsin, whatever you're familiar with. Very small school district. But Section 3, there's 10 in the state.
Wow. So what drew you to FFA? How many years have you been involved?
Yeah, so I joined FFA my freshman year of high school and really got involved. I had a couple sports injuries, so I was like, FFA, that's my jam. Like, I grew up on a farm. My dad owns a feed mill in the local area, and just really took advantage of opportunities, whether that looked like a career development event such as dairy cattle judging or participating in donkey basketball or dodgeball, you know, all the fun things. But also learning a lot as we go along.
That's still a sport, no injuries, right?
Yeah.
In donkey basketball.
No injuries,
okay, good. Crystal, when did you join FFA and where are you from?
I joined FFA in 7th grade, so I started early on, and I am from Mishicot High School, and I joined FFA because I lived on my family's dairy farm, and I currently work there, and I love agriculture, and FFA has roots in agriculture, but it also helps our leaders of tomorrow. So it has helped me build leadership skills from being able to speak better and present, along with making connections with other members from across the state.
And you are just two of a large team of officers. Talk a little bit about getting to know these young people, young leaders from around the state. Why is that so exciting?
Yeah, so we get elected, it was 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, and we got elected at the state convention. There were about 4,000 people there. We get elected, we run up on stage. Some people trip or fall, but we won't talk about that.
We're back to you're getting injured again at FFA.
But then we get elected, and then 3 days after that, we start our first training.
Okay.
So as a leadership team, we meet together and we get to know each other. And I can tell you, it's one of the best things ever. They're like the 11 of us together are becoming family within the last 2 weeks, and we have a year to do so and serve Wisconsin FFA at the same time. So it's pretty incredible.
People may not realize in order to be president, you have already had to serve a term as an officer, right?
Yeah, so I served as state reporter last year, and I'm super honored and excited to be back again.
Crystal, talk a bit about what you're excited for in the year ahead as you get to wear this jacket proudly and serve your state.
So the one thing that I'm really looking forward to this next year is visiting all the chapters within the Section 9 area and being able to see their programs and be one-on-one with the students and learn about their experiences so that I can share them with others.
So how do we keep up with all the things that you are doing? Because no doubt you'll be posting pictures and...
Yeah, totally. So we each officer has their own personal page. So whether the president or your sectional page, there's 10 sections, and that's WI/FFA/ the section or president.
Got it.
And then we also have a website that you can find at wisconsinaged.org.
Well, congratulations, an exciting year ahead, no doubt. We look forward to seeing all of your happenings. I know the State Fair is a big deal for your team as well, right? Will we see you guys there?
Yes, we'll be there.
All right, looking forward to it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hennings Wisconsin cheese makes several award winners. They're known for creative flavors like Bacon Fest cheddar. It's infused with bacon, onion, and dill pickles. Or try something called Simply Strawberry Cheddar, packed with sweet summer strawberries. It's perfect to pair with wine and chocolate. From wild to mild, you will find a flavor that fits your craving at this Kiel landmark business.
Hello, my name is Kurt Henning. I'm a third-generation owner here at Hennings Cheese, and this has been a very exciting year for us as we have been celebrating 110 years making cheese the traditional artisan way. We've been manufacturing cheese since 1914. My grandfather Otto started the business about a half a mile from where we're standing. My father Everett took over in 1963. My sister Kay, my brother Carrie, we took over in about the mid-1980s, and then now our children, my niece Mindy, my daughter Rebecca, my son Joshua, and my nephew Zachary are currently part of the business. It has been a privilege to work with family. We have found a way that we can work together to achieve a common goal, to make a high-quality product consistently time and again. One of the aspects about owning a small family cheese plant like ours is we're able to source our milk from local dairy farmers. We have approximately 17 small family dairy farmers who ship their milk to our facility. Currently, our dairy farmers are found within about a 30-mile radius of our facility. We have a very unique program with them in which we support them in a way that has helped us grow as well as help them. They are able to supply us with all the milk that we need in order to make a consistent, high-quality cheese. One of the things that makes Hennings Cheese very unique is that we pay our farmers in a manner that allows them the opportunity to stay in business for another generation. We've been doing this for about the past 15 to 20 years, and through this whole program, we have never lost a family farm due to financial hardships, but only through retirement. So it has been a very effective and good program that we have worked hand in hand with our dairy farmers. And as you watch the cheese making process, we follow the traditional artisan way of manufacturing cheese. And we have decided that in order to make the highest quality cheese, we continue following these time-honored tradition. It means more work, it means more effort, but in the end, we believe that the cheese is a much better tasting cheese that you can enjoy and that you'd be willing to share with your family around the country. We enter yearly competitions. There's a United States cheese competition. There's a world competition. We gauge ourselves as to how the quality of our cheese is to everybody else around the country. This year, we've been able to garner several firsts in categories, and for the first time in the history of our cheese plant, our cheddar was selected to be one of the top 20 finalists in the world, which is something we're extremely proud of. We are very proud of the traditions that we do, following a time-honored tradition. We believe by doing what we're doing is making a difference, as the judges told us at this last competition. And so as a family, we are really excited to share this opportunity with those who've been able to stop by.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Henschel. I am one of the fourth generation owners here at Hennings Cheese. So here at Hennings, we craft a few different items. We craft a traditional cheddar, we craft Colby, Monterey Jack, a low-fat Farmers, cheese curds, Mazza Whips, and then a variety of different flavors. So some of our specialty flavors, you can use them just by themselves on a charcuterie board, slice with crackers, or try incorporating them in a lot of different dishes, like our mango fire cheddar with tacos, or our blueberry cobbler cheddar with nuts and fruits and different things like that. Our Mediterranean sunset cheddar is great on lasagna. So a lot of the different varieties that we make can be used in your favorite recipes, or they can be used on their own. One of the unique things that we do here at Hennings is we work with retailers on crafting different items for their market. We created a cheese for a customer in Louisiana called Louisiana Lagniappe cheddar. This has crab boil liquid, cayenne pepper, and lemon zest in it. So it's a crab boil all in one, and they sell it in Louisiana, but then we also sell it to other markets, and they feature it during different times where they can incorporate what's in the cheese with cross-merchandising strategies. In the state of Wisconsin, we sell our cheese from Green Bay all the way down to Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha through Madison. So our cheese is found in a lot of the different local retailers across the state. Monday through Friday, we are open from 7 to 4, Saturdays from 8 till noon. If you come during the week, in the mornings, you can watch us making cheese from viewing windows from our museum and enjoy a unique experience as you shop for cheese, try our local wines, try different samples, visit our museum, and just enjoy a day in the country.
Hennings Wisconsin cheese is widely available at local grocery stores. You can also shop online, henningscheese.com, and be sure to visit their factory store in Kiel to see cheese making in action and to do some shopping.